Hello, shooters, loaders, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooting Connection Friday night live stream. Man, I really like that intro music, but it just seems so dang loud, doesn't it?
Yep. No, it's good.
Yeah, because after all, if it doesn't have a steel guitar, is it really country? Anyway, uh,
You don't think so?
Time for my walk.
He's pretty serious about it too.
I heard Zach Brown band crash. I like it. If it's too loud, you're too old. Yeah, don't call me a boomer. That's going to get on my bad side right now. My daughter gets mad at me. That's what she calls me. It's insulting. It's insulting, I say. Anyway, welcome everybody. We have had one heck of a dang time trying to get on the air tonight. So, CW, how was your week?
Oh, it was a good week. It was a good weekend. They're going by so fast. I can't believe it. I passed a milestone here. I waited a long time, and I picked up my first silencer this week. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's my big thing. I'm going back and forth talking to Jamie, deciding if I want to do anything about it on my channel. I'm kind of thinking no. Everybody's got them. Everybody talks about them. So I mentioned it here, but I don't think I'm going to highlight them on my channel. You'll see them, but I'm not going to make any kind of big deal about them because everybody's got, so, or most people got. But I had a good time. I got in some 400 projectiles, which I'm pretty psyched about. I want to get some loads done with those. I picked up a new stock for a rifle. I showed the guys on the panel here. So you're going to have to wait to see the video. So I'm pretty excited about that. I got some other stuff going on. We got some really good weather. I bought myself a new Jeep. So everything's doing good.
Right.
How you been doing?
You bought a new Jeep?
Yeah, he said he bought him a new Jeep.
I slipped that in there, yeah.
Oh, we did pretty good this week. Shot a clean match last weekend, so that's
Woohoo!
us. But
Congratulations.
we did a bunch of reloading. And that's about all I've done, though. We've had company most of the week, so haven't been doing a lot around the house. What about you, Rebel?
All right, there we go. It's been too hot to do anything outside. I've been doing stuff in the reloading room, trying to get over this cough, this residual stuff from whatever I had when you guys were down, and still coughing every once in a while, and that whiskey tends to take care of it. So
It'll do that. Yep.
yeah. People ask me if I've gone to the doctor, and I'm like, why? It's a cough.
He doesn't write prescriptions for whiskey.
I don't understand. So anyway, some people
one of
go
the
to the
COVIDs,
doctor.
one of the COVIDs I had gave me a cough for about a month. Not
Yeah.
hard and long, just annoying. Anytime I ate, anytime I drank, for about a month.
Yeah, it's weird. But Jody said I had full on pneumonia in this one lung, and she's a nurse. I listened to her.
Yep.
And
Well, she would know.
She got me some meds, and I did the rounds of meds, and what's left over is this cough that's sometimes productive and sometimes not. And I'm taking Mucinex and whiskey, and there you go. But if I'll stay on and mute my mic if I have a fit, you know. So
we wish you the best, and we'll be praying for you that it goes away quick.
yeah, appreciate that. All right, Andy.
Well, just super busy at work. Really busy, hectic, very stressful week. We starting to use some new software, and it's so buggy, it's ridiculous. I picked up about 1,000 pieces of 357 inspired brass for $50. That wasn't too bad. And down to the last room in the house to paint. So we're making headway.
Almost time to start over.
Another 25 years.
Good deal. Kyle, how about you?
Here I am, and here I sit. Just trying to get through the week. I mean, I take a couple of days off, and all of a sudden, a bunch of my childhood icons are no longer with us.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we did lose a few this week, didn't we?
I'm just thankful to be here with y'all tonight because I really enjoy this, and it's always a blast. And it's good to see everybody in the side chat. And I just got my YouTube channel back on my brand new phone. Had to get that replaced, so we're working on that. And it's weird that everything that I used to have that used Face ID, I don't remember the passwords. So it's a drama. I'm sitting here on 5 devices trying to log into stuff. But anyway, I'm sorting it out. And YouTube was the one of the final straws. I finally got it. It tried to recognize one account, but no, that's not the account that I use. So I don't know. But anyway, here we are. Dex, what you got, brother?
Mama Dad.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
Bama
Bama
Dad.
Wake up over there. Well, in Alabama, they don't hear too well.
Trying to settle a dog down.
Oh, it's just a dog. Come on, man.
Nothing. Yeah, it's a big dog. Nothing much. I've been working on my old drill press a lot and getting some stuff together. Getting ready to start loading some 223, and I'm about as confused as I can be on that. This is first bottleneck. I got about 5,000 rounds clean, deprimed, ready to go. But I was talking to Walter about it the other day. That's a whole different situation than regular straight wall cartridges.
It is. It's different. It's more frustrating.
Yeah, I'm gonna break myself in on those before I start with the 300 PRC.
223 is actually pretty darn forgiving. It's such a common load and common round. There's 18,000 different bits of load data and stuff you can do, and you almost can't mess it up too bad.
Yeah, you got to try to mess it up.
Right.
Well, I was just confused. My biggest thing I was confused about when to, do you have to check after you resize? Do you have to check every one before you trim them, or are they all set when you do that?
No, they don't grow the same. Yes, you have to check them all.
That's why they make no go gauges.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quick and easy. You can sit there while you're watching your favorite TV show and go, "Do you have 2 buckets? Yes and no."
Is that the one like the L.E. Wilson where if they stick out the end and throw it in the trim bucket?
Exactly.
Okay. That makes it faster anyway. That's better than sitting with a mic and going over each one.
And you wait until you got a full bucket, and then next time you watch that same show, now you're trimming cases instead of checking them. So, I mean, you're still accomplishing a goal. So,
yeah.
Okay, Walter, how was your week, bro?
My week was fantastic for a couple of big reasons. One is I stuck my foot into the black powder game this week, I actually been working on it for a couple of months, accumulating stuff and doing my homework and things. And I went to the range, fired 6 rounds, and I still got my face and everything, you know. And I'll tell you guys, as long as I've been casting and reloading and stuff, it was still one of these things. Man, I hope this works. You know, every time a new caliber and a new load or something, there's always that little bit of, I hope this is going to be okay. And my range, the time of the day I go there in the middle of the week, there's nobody else there. So if something happens, I'm kind of up the creek. But anyway, it worked well. It was fun, made a lot of smoke and a whole bunch of noise. And so eventually, maybe next month, I'll be starting a series about a dummy starts reloading black powders or something. I don't know. It was a cheapy 1858, Remington, copy from Pieta, and I was surprised how dog simple they are. There's just a simple machine. It works really well. You can take it apart, put it back together easier than a 1911, which everyone can do in their sleep. I was a happy camper. I made a couple procedural mistakes, not having the right stuff right as handy as I wanted it, and some other things. But anyway, everything worked good, and I got it done. So that was cool. And the other thing, and you guys have probably heard about this, is we had a big win in California this week from the Ninth Circuit Court, and they lifted the requirement for us to have a background check on ammo, and that has stuck us for 10 years almost now, that we have not been able to have ammo shipped directly to our homes because we had to have a background check. You could have it shipped to an FFL if you wanted to buy online or something, but they're going to charge you for that, and then you still got to pay the background check fee, which is now up to $5, and we still have to pay our 11% excise surcharge. California's reluctant to call it a tax, but it's a tax. So if you buy in state, you still got to pay that, but they can't do a background check on you now or charge you that extra $5 per transaction. It was terrible. If you went and bought in a 50-round box of 22 long rifle for $4 or $5 and came back in the same afternoon and said, "Oh, I forgot I needed 2 boxes." Well, you got to pay that $5 twice, even though it's on the same day, and even though you just got cleared, 35 minutes before that. It's awful. So that's lifted for now. California's MO is they'll say, "Oh, please give us, a 30-day stay on that so we can have time to get our appeal put together." They haven't done it yet today, but in the meantime, yesterday I ordered 1,000 rounds of 22 LR just to go to Governor Newsom.
In California, it's only going to last for about 2 days, and then all of a sudden we're back in court.
Oh yeah, well the same thing happened with the magazine ban from several years ago. We called it Freedom Week. We got a whole week where we could order standard capacity magazines, and millions, not thousands, not hundreds of thousands, millions of those magazines came into California. And Brownells was one of the first ones yesterday that said, "Hey, we'll ship it to you." I went over and looked at their website. They were plumb out of 22 long rifle.
So I got an email this week from one of the vendors that ship ammo, and it was an email stating that they were now shipping to California. So that's an awesome win for you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and see, the bigger deal is we don't have to pay that 11% excise tax if we buy it from out of state, and we can go over to Nevada and if we happen to be there and find a really good deal, it's now legit to bring it into the state where it wasn't before. The athletes for the Olympic team, Californians would go over to Nevada to a meet or something, and if they had a whole bunch of ammo there, and they shot up most but not all of the ammo that they took, because you never know how much you're going to do. They couldn't bring their leftovers back into state legally. They'd be felons if they did.
Did y'all see where
we're in the same boat in New York now? It's 4 years now in New York.
Well, this is going to spill over to New York and New Jersey.
I hope so.
It's got to.
I mean, I don't buy ammo anymore, so I don't Doesn't.
Yeah.
Only thing I
Well, I
look
don't
at-
either, other than rimfire. But
Yeah.
Here's the caveat to everything that you just said, Walter. There was a night show host that gave Gavin Newsom
yeah,
a California legal firearm.
and he couldn't bring it home.
And he can't
Yeah.
bring it home because of his bullshit gun control laws.
I don't. He was the brunt of so much ink on the internet last week for over that. God, they just made him look like a moron. Well, he is anyway. But
And they
Easy to
should,
do.
because he is.
Easy
Yeah.
to do. Easy to do.
So I'll say this about that. I know y'all, folks like me and Ricky, and Ricky's moving out of Connecticut down to Georgia, and Bama Dad and Six and Rebel and Kyle. We might take a glancing look at something like that and say, well, that don't apply to me, but it does, and because any win for the Second Amendment
Yep.
for any of those states is a win for the rest of us down the road. And so once this stuff is proved to be unconstitutional in New York, Connecticut, California, Washington, and Oregon, and all of those messed up places like that, it's going to prove that states on the borderline that may be thinking about doing stuff like that, they're going to get they're going to get knocked back on their backside.
When they hit New York, 2 weeks later, Hulk will have a new law.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they'll find some way to try to get around it. But the state governments have just been chipping away at our rights, and finally, folks are standing up and said enough.
If they would spend 1/4 of the amount of time just trying to let people be free in their state instead of putting more regulations on them, just think how easy life would be.
Not to mention the millions of tax dollars they're spending on all this court.
Right. They wouldn't even have to work as hard.
Yep. So anyway, that was a big deal here in California. Made me happy all week long to get that first few rounds of black powder stuff, cap and ball stuff done, and then topped off with that news yesterday. So good week here at Casa de Viejo.
Very good.
Yeehaw. Andy, did you get to say how your week was?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure.
I don't know. We were jumping around. That's how I got confused. So
I was born that way.
Yeah.
touche.
Kyle, confusing you's like eating lettuce, brother. There ain't nothing to it.
Well, but it all comes out in the end.
Yeah, you guys are bad tonight. It's getting rich in here quick.
Well, we're frustrated, man. We had to deal with StreamYard tonight. And,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's folks still trying to watch the previous show that we had set up. Yeah, we got on to StreamYard, and where you guys see our faces now and our feeds from our cameras that goes out to you guys. All we saw when we got in on the first link was a circle. Nothing else but a black screen and a circle. So we had to kill that link. We killed that link and made another one. Yeah, it's supposed to be hot here all next week. I see them put a comment out there. 98 degrees today.
Yeah, it's warm.
Yeah, I tried to call Dave Thorzak today, and I didn't get through to him. And I called around lunchtime, which was about 9 o'clock. So he may have been out doing whatever and stuff. But there's a lot of people in this country that don't have air conditioning in their home because they pretty much don't need it, but about 7 to 10 days a year. And what we've got coming in here next week, over the weekend and early next week, I wouldn't wish on anybody that didn't have air conditioning. Dale Poe got his shop air conditioning. And dude, let me tell you something. I got a mini split in my shop at work. And man, my boss wears his jacket when he comes in there.
If you use somebody else's air conditioning, you might as well be hanging meat in that thing. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, Ricky said that's me up here. He don't have air conditioning in Connecticut. So
Yeah, but I bet he's got it down here in Georgia.
you doggone right he does. And good ones too. That house he's building, he's got a central unit on both ends. You got air, don't you, see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but do you have air in the garage?
No.
Let me show y'all this.
It's
I know
a little
y'all
thick.
see it, but
It's a little thick and warm in the garage.
look at that beautiful smell. What model is that?
Looks like a
36.
36. Yeah, I have one my own self. It was my dad's.
Is that sexy as red knee socks or what? Is that beautiful?
That is gorgeous.
Now see,
The grips are too small, though.
yeah, they are.
I got some like pack buyers for it. Big difference.
Walter said earlier that we could take a 1911 apart in our sleep. I can't.
I can't.
I'm
I don't know
not.
if I could put it back together, but they're pretty easy to take down.
It is, but see, I can take my 586 apart, put it back together. I can't do it in my sleep though.
1911s ain't hard. You just got to do it 500,000 times while somebody's screaming at you.
There's Ricky Baird. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. Yeah. We're going to talk about the origins of revolvers tonight. And we probably won't get in that. We only got 4 minutes till we call out the side chat. So,
Yeah, the 36 I have was made in 1958.
see, the older they are, the better to me.
Oh, I love mine. I don't shoot it a lot, but I'm shooting it more often now.
I don't blame you.
Well, I spent a lot of time with that. There was a couple of videos up, and
Yeah.
I kind of cleaned it and blew part of it, and got some new parts that were worn and stuff, and it shoots real good now. So I just got to spend a little more time with it.
They're fun to shoot. You know, you only got a 2-inch barrel, so you got a good excuse for not hitting anything.
I'm
You
hitting
can scare them away.
hot loads, just some target stuff, but getting away from loading 38s. I think we mentioned that last week. I'm loading 357 mostly for the Rossi and stuff. I got some new loads to test out. Some
Yeah.
low end stuff like Walter's
They're wad cutters, man.
wad cutter videos. I'm about 3.6 grains of that. I started at 3.6. Yes, I started at 3.6 and went to 4.1. I'm waiting to run the ladder test, find where the group is. 2 different bullets, see how it works in 357, get it dialed in. And then I'm going to go back and play with 38 for the little 2-inch and work up some stuff, in that 3 grain area, nothing crazy. 2.5 is too little.
What powder, Andy?
What?
What powder?
I'm using that Winchester WSH, which is
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
very close to Green Dot.
Mhm.
Super handicap.
Yeah, and I've had some pretty great results. I mean, I'm shooting it in 300 blackout. I'm shooting it in 223 for low end loads, not hot stuff.
Mhm.
3006.
Wow.
Okay.
But
And
you're
again,
shooting
38, 9mm. I've got it loaded for everything.
But you're shooting zinc bullets, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. That makes sense.
No, well, it's just you got to calculate for the weight difference. That's all it really is.
Right.
So that I want to say something. He's talking about WSH Winchester Super Handicap shotgun powder. A shotgun powder is a pistol powder, and a pistol powder can be a shotgun powder. You just got to make sure you got your load data for it.
There's no load data for the WSH for pistol, though. That's the hard part.
Yeah, but you figured it out. That's not
Yeah,
that
I got it. It took me some doing to learn and find out what's the closest resembles. And from quite a few oddball forums that are out there that old information, really, everybody's going with green dot. So low data wise, and that's been working.
So when I was about, I would say 21, 22, 23 years old, a buddy of mine got one of those pistols, and he's showing it off to me. And I'm like, you got any bullets? And he said, yeah, I got some bullets. I said, let's shoot it. And he said, okay. I said, what can we shoot at? And I went in the house and I found a Planters. Y'all know what a Planters peanut can? It's a little bit bigger than your average can, but it's shorter. It's bigger around, but shorter.
Yeah.
And he threw that out there, and he shot a whole cylinder and missed. And I'm like, you can't hit that from there? And, I mean, it was like 7 steps, you know. And I said, let's move this further away. So I moved it probably another 7 to 10 steps back, and he gave it to me. And I missed the first one. The first shot, I went a little bit high and left, and then I poured 5 more right into that can. And of course, it was jumping and all that. But once you figure out where those guns shoot, they'll repeat. Even though they're snub nose, Smith & Wesson's going to shoot, in my opinion. Okay, so we're past time now to call out the side chat. Walter, remember the topic for tonight? And,
Yes, sir.
I think I know what we need to type. What do you think we need to type?
Well, I'm going to say revolver.
That's too long.
Okay. We could put Colt.
That's what I was thinking.
There we go. Let's go with Colt.
COLT. And those of you guys already put revolver in there. We're still going to call you out on TV.
We'll call you anyway.
because we love you and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
I had
Could've made him spell Collier.
Even said it.
So obviously, Walter Viejo was in first. Kyle Lusk was a close second. Both of them are on the panel and in the side chat. Bobby Barlow's out there. GGW Outdoors. Walter come in again with Colt. Walks Fletcher. Andy 79Z28 is on the panel as well. Tommy Boy. Bamadad is on the panel. Kyle Lusk is on the panel. Alaska One Andy. Ricky Baird. GGW Outdoors. Papa's Place. Ricky Baird again. Texas 6 is on the panel too. Walks Fletcher. Edward Petty. Mike Hester is on the panel. Ozzy Osborne. Abigail Finnegan's out there. Papa's Place, Alaska One Andy. Dale Pogue. Rollis Carvelis, the gun genius. Mr. Bob. Run 2A Matters. Walks Fletcher says, my favorite revolver is a COLT. Because when he cocks the hammer, it goes COLT. Rich B is out there. Abigail Finnegan, hers is a Ruger GP 100. CW Longshots in the panel. Dale Pogue is out there. Mr. Bob again. Yeah, we all love revolvers. GP 100's a fine choice, Abigail. But thank all y'all for joining us this evening. We're showing we've got 35 on watching this evening. Let's get into it a little bit. How far back do we want to go, really? Okay. This is on Drury's Guns. And looking for a date.
About early 1800s, 1820s, sometime back in there. What was that guy?
No,
Collier? Was that the
we're
first one?
back way before that, but I was looking for a date when this article was
Oh,
published.
okay.
Okay, so he says no look at firearms would be complete without a section on the history of revolvers. They were the first truly successful attempt to overcome one of the main limitations of guns, the fact that they must be reloaded. Historically, this usually meant a time-consuming, laborious process of pouring powder down the muzzle, inserting the projectile, and setting off a controlled explosion near the breech just to fire the weapon once. As this could take a minute or more, the shooter faced a 60-plus seconds during which he was vulnerable to counterattack.
Yeah.
So the pre-revolver designs, one of the earliest attempts to overcome the reloading problem was made by the Chinese around the year 1500. It was known as a pole gun. Let me stop right there. The Chinese had lots of quote unquote pole type weapons that they used for stabbing, slicing, cutting, all this at a distance. So basically, a long stick with a knife or an axe or a hatchet on the end of it, whatever you want to call it. But this was a pole gun. It had 3 separate barrels attached to a central staff. All 3 were preloaded before combat began, and each was fired one at a time by holding a flame or a smoldering wick to a touch hole. For its time, this was a devastating advantage, though accuracy was nearly non-existent. Once all the barrels were fired, the trio had to be reloaded. The first true revolver, in the sense of a gun with a rotating cylinder, was created by James Puckle, Puckle, who patented it in 1780. It was actually a very early version of a machine gun, very similar to the design patented by Richard Gatlin almost 150 years later in 1862. It was reloaded by switching out cylinders, achieving a rate of fire of 63 rounds in less than 8 minutes. For its time period, this was a phenomenal accomplishment. This is 1718. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's a long dang time ago. So, an English inventor named Elisha Collier developed a flintlock weapon with a revolving cylinder in 1818, but it was limited because of its use of black powder and an inefficient mechanism. Nonetheless, it served as inspiration to the man whom history credits with creating the revolver as we understand the term today. And this was done by a fellow named Samuel Colt, and he changed firearms history. Even among such famous American businessmen as J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, and Bill Gates, the founder of the Colt Firearms Company stands apart. Part visionary, part inventor, and part master salesman, Samuel Colt revolutionized the world of weaponry when he patented his quote-unquote revolving gun in 1836. Despite his best efforts, his invention didn't receive widespread acceptance until over a decade later, when in 1847, Captain Samuel Walker of the Texas Rangers placed an order for 1,000 of them. Stories of their success in the Mexican-American War made them hugely popular among Western settlers who found that the ability to fire 6 shots without reloading gave them an advantage over hostile Indians. Colt was an amazing man in many ways, but like many great figures in history, his weaknesses were as pronounced as his strengths. He was a notorious drinker who spent huge sums of money on his wardrobe and other personal possessions. He was the target of intense criticism during the Civil War when he openly sold arms to both sides. He passed away from gout at a relatively young age of 48, a condition aggravated by his poor lifestyle choices. He also had another critical weakness. He was vain to a fault. He saw any effort to improve his designs as personal insults and routinely fired employees who suggested it. This trait cost him dearly when he ignored one of his gunsmiths, a fellow named Rollin White. You need to remember that name, Rollin White. White came up with the idea of using self-contained metal cartridges, which would eliminate the need for the meticulous pouring powder into cartridges and fitting caps into the breech of the cylinder. He presented this idea to Colt in 1852, only to have it casually dismissed. White patented the idea himself and then took it to a pair of entrepreneurs who were also in the firearm business. Guess what their names were?
John Brown.
Horace Smith and Daniel B. Wesson. They promptly signed a deal with the gunsmith to use his design innovation. It made their enterprise, the Smith & Wesson Firearms Company, the first one on earth to manufacture weapons that use modern-day cartridges. Colt, however, was banned by federal patent law from doing so for the following 20 years. This cost his company untold millions of dollars in profits and set the stage for Smith & Wesson to become America's premier firearm company. Okay, so what went on there is in 1836, Colt patented the Patterson. His revolving gun was the Patterson in 1836, which is a very small. Let's see if I can find a picture of it. Oh, and we'll hit more on Daniel Wesson next week. Let's see if I can find a Colt Patterson. So they ain't exactly small.
Good grief.
No, they're not.
I think they're small except for this, except for the barrel length. Let me get back over here. This is a 1836 Colt, 1836 Texas Patterson made by EMF Company.
Good God.
Notice that the big thing about these, you got to take the cylinder out to reload it and then put it back in. This mechanism right here, you slide the barrel and all of that out. We still don't have the bars to pack the load into the cylinders yet. And of course, this is the first commercially viable 5-shot revolver, 28 and 36 caliber the following year. This is a Pieta reproduction of the Patterson. Does not include a loading lever with the revolver, and the cylinder does not have a bolt ram. Additionally, the trigger is concealed in the frame until the hammer is pulled. So you can't even see the trigger. So that's a 36 caliber 9-inch barrel.
Looks about as ridiculous as my Red Hawk.
It was produced in Patterson, New Jersey. So Colton, y'all help me out here. Colt almost or did pretty much go out of business.
Right. Until a Texan came along and said, "Hey, design it this way, and I'll buy a bunch of them."
Right.
So, if the Texan hadn't came along, would we be here where we are today?
There's a reason they say don't mess with Texas. That being said, Texas is the only state in the union that was actually its own country before it was a state. So y'all can get some of that. So this is a short, Mama Dad.
Yeah. It's pretty short. And it shows the reloading and everything. It's a lady shooting it, but it's good.
This is C in Arsenal. This is good stuff right here. This is Minute of May. I'm very familiar with them. Are y'all ready?
Roll that beautiful bean food.
Colt Patterson revolver, number 5. Weighing in at 2.5 pounds and with an overall length of 12 1/4 inches, this black powder, single action only Uberti reproduction gives us the chance to experience that old gun feel without the expense of an original. Loading requires disassembly. Powder, lubricated wad, which wasn't originally used, and 36 caliber ball, 5 total. Plunge them in deep with your loading tool, then gently but firmly set caps on your nipples. Reset your gat and wait, where did that trigger go? It remains folded unless you touch the hammer, which is a difficult stretch with my hand size. Cap jams can be common and not the quickest to clear. The rear sight is notched on top of the hammer and pairs with a blade front, and recoil is fairly mild. Born in an era of single shots, this multi-shot pistol must have appeared as both alien and wondrous. If you'd like to know more, subscribe to See an Arsenal.
And that's why Colt went out of business. You notice no trigger guard on that either.
Right.
Well, the trigger guard was the trigger went up into the frame.
Right. Yeah, it was buried until you cocked it.
You had to mean it.
Wow. California was an independent republic for 6 weeks.
I can't
I
believe it.
stand corrected.
I wish they'd go back to an independent republic. Sorry, no offense, Walter.
Yeah, you and me both.
Howdy, preacher. Good to see you out there, buddy. Let me see if I can find anybody else come in. Paul Loud's out there. Tim S. I don't remember calling his name out during the roll call. Glenn Davis.
Can you imagine you have a second tool just to reload that pistol?
See, that wasn't all you got though, man. You know, a lot of times you had a mold to be able to pour a bullet for when you bought them back in the day. Right, Walter?
Absolutely.
There's some pretty cool stuff out there, man. That tool you were showing earlier was pretty awesome to me. So, um,
And Walks, I see your comment.
so here's the thing, y'all. Okay. They just had a string of they had a string of revolvers at different, you know, models and stuff from Colt. Uh, here's a Walker. The Colt Walker, sometimes known as the Walker Colt, is a single action revolver with a revolving cylinder, typically 44 caliber, 6 bullets. Was designed in 1846 by American firearms inventor Samuel Colt to the specifications of Captain Samuel Hamilton Walker. So 10 years went by. Colt's struggling because he's spending all his money on liquor and clothes.
Which, oddly enough, the clothes were the most expensive part.
Yeah, the liquor was cheap back then. So let me see if I can do this. Share that screen. Colt Walker number 10. Okay, now in this model, it's a 6-shot. It's still black powder. You have the loading stuff built into the gun. The rear side is still back here on the hammer, which is ingenious to me.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to put your caps on the nipples. How do you guys feel about putting caps on your nipples?
Depends on who you ask.
That conversation goes south real quick in this group.
It does, doesn't it?
Do they glue on?
I didn't say it.
Brass front sight. So yeah, man. This gun right here. Oh yeah. Six, maybe you can help us, or Andy, one of y'all may know. That gun weighed about 4 pounds. I think it was 4 pounds 4 ounces. Was.
I had one at one time, but I got rid of it. I don't even remember if I ever even shot it. I don't even know how much it weighed. I got it in a payment. I got 3 revolvers given to me in payment. The guy owed me some money, so.
Loud.
4.5 pounds.
The Paul Loud's caps are very sensitive, y'all.
When you Walt's got a deal he put up there, and I got them in all of mine. They're slick shot nipples, and it vastly improved my cap and balls.
What makes them better than factory?
They will vent some of the pressure and not let the caps come back off.
Yeah.
You see one of them shot in slow motion. When the hammer hits and it goes off, the pressure actually pushes the hammer back some. And that little hole they have in theirs, and they're shaped better to match the caps.
Gotcha.
They recommend Remington number 11s, I believe it is, or CCI 10s. Both of them will fit. As far as the loading lever, when I take mine and use them in competition, or matter of fact, even when I'm just shooting it at the range, I use this to load mine. I take the cylinder off and load it with this. Much quicker, much faster.
What was that movie where Clint Eastwood was using those? I'm not sure they were walkers. They might have been Colt Navies or something that came later. So this was 1846. The Navies came out in 51.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood always used the conversions.
His big one for percussions was Josie Wales.
Yep.
He had multiple cylinders, and he'd
Yeah.
load them all every night before he went to bed.
He had a couple movies where he had them, but that was the big one.
Yeah, Josie Wales.
Yep. He mainly was shooting 51s, but I think he had a
58.
the smaller one is the 32 caliber.
Yeah, he had that little bitty one.
Yeah, he had a couple of those too.
Mr. Bob Pale Rider, 1858 Navy, modified to use metallic cartridges, which is something that the gun companies would do, but I'm sure they charged you for it.
Yeah.
And the thing on that is like the 1858 Remington, you just took the whole cylinder out and chunked it and put the new one in, you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Remingtons unloaded the cylinder a little bit quicker.
Yeah. The conversions were a little tougher to do because you have to take the cylinder out, you take the cap off the back of it,
Well, yeah. Mhm.
all the deals out, and then put it back together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If y'all want to watch
We
Walkers,
got guys at the cowboy shooting that use them still.
the Walkers in action to be Lonesome Dove.
Yeah.
That's when Eustace holds that big Walker by the barrel and threatened to hit Carl in the head with a hammer, like a hammer with Carl. Now don't hit him, Carl. He's gonna whomp him in the head with it.
Oh, that's
Walker's
when he was beating
big
up
gun.
on Newt.
So all this time, like from 1836 to 1846, when they made the Walkers, and this Patterson was the only thing out there, and then we get to 1852. Colt's got this guy telling him to pour those cylinders all the way through and use metallic cartridges, and Samuel Colt's telling him hogwash. Ain't gonna do that. Colt's got this patent on the revolving cylinder, period. So unless he filed that patent for that guy and started producing those himself, which he wasn't going to do, everybody else had to sit in the wings and wait till his patent expired. Am I correct on that?
Yeah, but I think Eli Whitney found a way around it and started producing revolvers damn near on Colt's design, but something a little different about it.
Yeah, I think it was a little different.
They were smaller too,
They were small revolvers but well made.
and 36 caliber too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Eli Whitney Jr. When we learned a lot about him during the lever action series, and I have a friend who's got one of those Whitney revolvers, and missing some parts, and then literally it's a basket case. It's all apart. So one of these days uh, we'll have to get that thing going because a 36 caliber cap and ball is that's just got to be fun, don't it?
Oh, they're fun.
So guys, we're going to be missing Gene for a little bit. He's getting a lot of work that he's got to do on Friday nights with his tattooing, and being on here is costing him money, and we can't allow that to be going on. So Gene's going to be gone for a while till he gets caught, at least till he gets caught up on his tattooing, if he ever does. I got a feeling that a good tattoo artist is not going to run out of work. So Six got something to share with us tonight. You want to go ahead and do that, Six?
All right, we can do that. When Colt started producing his 36 calibers and stuff, what you see most of the time with people pouring powder in and then packing the ball down really wasn't a thing. It was more of one of these. Now, this isn't the exact version that they had. If you go and look at Air's Gone molds, and I'll put a link to his channel in the side chat. He's got the proper molds for revolvers, and they're so much easier to do because you just drop them in and pack them down. You're done. Put the cap on it, start shooting. Most people don't know that because they're not exposed to it. So
Basically, it's got a powder charge and a round ball on top with a wad in there too.
These do have a wad on it, but originally they don't have a wad. You have your paper cartridge that's tapered. You got powder charge on it, and then you had a conical ball that the paper stopped on. These are round ball ones, and this is the way I make them. Wads wasn't a thing. Another thing that wasn't a thing that I know of back then was putting grease over your cylinder. That wasn't a thing. How you want to ride around in Texas with grease lubes all over your cylinders? It'll be running down your legs. So, but I make mine with a wad. There's a wad cookie in there. It's a greased little piece of felt, and then a round ball, and then I just tie them like that. And I learned this off the internet, but this is one of my biggest videos is making these things. So if y'all want to see me making them, you can do that. There's mandrels out there you can buy from Guns of the West. He makes kits to be able to make these if you want to make them. And either way, with the brown ball or with the Air is Gone bullet molds, which he has Lee makes those.
Which is pretty much a small variation of a conical of a mini ball.
But it's kind of a heeled bullet too, so it sits down into the cylinder. Yeah, they're not a lot of fun walls to make, but I enjoy sitting doing them.
Yeah, but think about how much it sped up loading your revolver. Man.
Oh yeah, because like when I use my cap and balls in cowboy action shooting, it's so much quicker. I can go over and get them loaded up and go back over to do my duties of either brass picking or counting or whatever. You know, standing over powder, ball, powder, ball, and all that.
Yeah. Like a famous comedian friend I once had said, used to say, "It's a pain, but I enjoy it."
But you see, you can make up lots of them.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Heck yeah.
But you can't let them sit too long. You got to shoot them.
How long you reckon?
I would say not more than 6 months.
Okay. Because that's black powder, right?
That's black powder in those.
And it's just sucking up moisture, right?
Yep. Even though it's those papers are nitrided, so it helps.
I was looking into a cap and ball. Let me ask you something, Tex. How do you feel about the build your own, finish your own kits and all that stuff that you can get from like your sporting goods stores?
My very first one was a kit.
Were you happy with it?
Do what?
Were you happy with it?
Oh yeah. It was an Army San Marcos, which is out of business now. Matter of fact, all of my cap and balls are Army San Marcos, and like I say, he's been out of business for a while.
What's your favorite caliber?
The one I got in my hand. I've got 36, and I've got a couple 44s. I've got the one that never existed, the 58 in a 44 that never existed, or 51, I mean. But the one my wife gave me for my birthday, she got from a guy on the east side of Houston, or on the west side of Houston. And I went to go pick it or get some parts from him and some supplies, and he was packing up and moving. He was moving to Fredericksburg, Texas, which now is Cimarron Arms. I didn't know that till later on.
Hold that thought 1 minute, Tex, because I got a question. Walter, we have a sighting.
Count it down.
Oh, are we ready? Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hey! Hiya, Mario, you West Coast weirdo.
Takes one to know one.
Yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Here we go. Walks Fletcher. You got to use a nipple pick after loading paper cartridge to ensure ignition. I was wondering if a cap would set off that powder with that paper in the way.
You need to check them before you load the next one.
And here's another one. Glenn Davis, what do you think about the 44 Navy? Now, see, I never knew who would lose, CW. I never knew the 44 Navy was a thing. I thought they were 36 calibers.
That's like I said, that's the gun that would never existed.
It doesn't exist, yes.
Yeah.
Which, if you just take the barrel off and put the other barrel on, it changes it automatically. It's
like the original Wildcat.
It's just the barrel section that makes it really different.
Yeah, but you got to have the different cylinder. But you can put the different cylinder and a different barrel on the same frame.
Like I said, I've got a 44 with a 52 front end on it. You can take the can't think of the names now. The other model, the one that actually is 44, and slide it right on there. All the same.
Jamie, if you watch John Wick 3, he figured this out under pressure while a bunch of people were after him with knives and axes. He converted a gun in about 4 seconds and killed one guy with it.
But yeah, I've been looking at those cap and balls that you can pick up at your major sporting goods stores. Like I said, no names. You finish them yourself and all that. And I was just wondering if it was worth it, you know. Tinker around.
I got mine. Really, all I finished was the brass. It was I wouldn't call it a rough cast, but it was definitely not finished. I had to do a lot of sanding and stuff on it.
Yeah.
And fit the grips to it. That's really all.
It's a kit. Yeah.
That's it, really. I mean, everything else is finished. It's all blued.
I always thought it was cool.
Works.
Back in my day, you could order or buy a Ruger Old Army and then buy the centerfire cylinder for it. No paperwork.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, I'm going to bail out.
Okay, Andy. Good night, sir.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you for being here, buddy.
Yeah, we got one guy that shoots with us. One week he's shooting cap and ball with his Ruger Old Armies. Next week he's shooting it with cartridges in it.
I just always thought it'd be cool, you know. Like another toy to tinker with.
Those Ruger Old Armies right now, they're going for about $850.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you can pick up these kits, these unfinished kits. All you gotta do is put a little elbow grease in there. I just didn't know if they were worth shooting.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's only to me, all I know of is two people making them is Uberti and Pieta.
Yeah, and they're pretty much the same thing.
There's a good
close.
Kits are not worth the money. $25 savings over factory complete.
Yeah, but it's the point of doing it yourself, you know.
And here's one from Ozzy I wanted to share with y'all.
Yeah, this is messed up.
I want a black powder revolver, but in Illinois, I have to go through a FFL.
Really?
Fill out a 44.7.
Y'all think about that next time you buy from Rural King.
See,
they that's where their corporate office is, and that's the master they obey.
Even in California, we can have them shipped right to our doorstep. I bought two of them. I bought an 1858 Army and an 1860 Army civilian.
Illinois is bad, dude.
Well, Jamie knows I can go 12 miles south of my house and buy one right now. Matter of fact, yeah, still right now. It's not 10 o'clock.
yeah, that you can in Georgia, you can order them online and they'll ship them straight to your house.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is amazing in this day
and
age.
It's not a firearm.
This is what's great about Georgia. I can go buy it and go through self-checkout with it.
Yeah.
Same here.
You can't even do that here with a can of beer.
Right.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do these people think? I mean, they think I'm going to get a brace of them, buy 2 horses and a bandana and become Jesse James.
Going to become Josie Wales, yeah.
Holy crap. Well, I'd need more than 2.
I think getting powder is the easiest part of it, too, but the caps. How hard was it for you to get caps, Walter?
Remingtons are no-go altogether. They're not there, period. And I gather that they haven't been since
oh, wow.
Since Remington did their thing here not too long ago. CCIs are available, and that's what I got. They fit a little bit tight on the nipples on the firearms that I bought on the revolvers that I got.
They're hot.
But they will go.
Hot. Yeah, they're hot.
Which one did you get? 11s or 10s?
10s.
Okay.
So
that was what was recommended, and that's on a Pieta copy. And they said no, use number 10s. Well, they didn't say Remington or CCI, and I gather that those two are a little bit different.
They are
It's
different.
not the same. The 10s went on. I had to push them on pretty good, but
Yeah,
These
like
are the
when you
questions
change
that I
over
need
to
to have answered.
when you change over to the slick nipples,
yep.
they recommend there's a design for the Remington number 11, but the closest next thing to it is the CCI 10s. I don't think there's a real good spec on what it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So isn't the beauty of the inline muzzle loader the fact that you use a shotgun primer?
I guess. I mean,
Yes.
I don't
never
know.
It
used
feels
one.
more like a modern rifle. You use the shotgun primer. Ignition's a little bit quicker than with the number 11 cap, although with my method of loading a side hammer, I've never had problems. So,
Yeah, well, you have to take that stuff apart and clean it every once in a while.
oh yeah, but I put about 3 flakes of unique underneath my nipple, and I put that number 11 cap on there, and buddy, on a pouring down rainstorm at Thompson Center Renegade goes, "Pacow!" Just about that fast. My buddy says, "I don't see how that thing shoots in the rain." I said, "It's sealed from the factory." But that unique could go off. I mean, like I say, I load that stuff with tweezers. Just 3 flakes, and it makes a nice hot load.
Yeah, Thompson Center makes good stuff. I'm really interested. We had a comment earlier at CW highlighted, and I forget. I think it was. I better not call any names. I'll call the wrong one and get in trouble. Somebody was asking about the SSK frames for the contenders.
Yeah.
And what we think of those.
This is not me. I'm not a Thompson Center guy, but from my customers, it's a hit or miss. It's a real hit or miss, especially with the older stuff.
Well, it seems like that's going to be irrelevant now that Thompson Center's back in business.
Right. You would think. Yes, sir.
I don't know about the frames. I know a couple people that's got them. Tin Man's got one of the SSK.
And it was Glenn Davis.
Mm-hmm. I've got an older TC for contender for sale with a custom barrel on it from Hart, and I think Bullberry welded the hardware onto it. It's 7.62 by 39, and the guy killed a antelope at 200 yards out in Wisconsin, or out in Wyoming.
How long's the barrel? Is it a pistol or a rifle?
It's a pistol.
Okay.
Heavy, custom made 4N for it. Wide.
Which means it's probably an 11-inch barrel.
Yeah.
But still classified as a pistol.
I got the original box with it. Tell you, that's cool.
Well, I've got a 14-inch barrel. Still a pistol.
Yep. I killed a deer with an 11-inch 7 mag.
Now, you burn his hair off. He died of a cold.
No, well, he didn't. He must have been real cold because he fell.
He was cold
He
then.
stagger. He just dropped. And I was like, man, this is cool. But you talk about a handful. Ooh,
Yeah, I bet.
Correct.
first time I ever shot that damn thing, I was like, "Holy Lord, you can have this back."
There's Vanessa, Kitty.
Hey, Vanessa.
Can you all hear me?
Yeah. Can
All
you
right.
hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
We can see you now. How was your week?
It was good.
Good deal. We've been talking about revolvers tonight.
Oh, good.
So y'all don't go back to school till after Labor Day, do you?
Well, with the kids, we're heading back about the 22nd for teachers.
Of August?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next Friday's our first day of school.
I was going to say my buddy's going back next week.
Yeah.
He's
Our kids start second week of August here.
Teachers reported yesterday.
Wow.
So
What happened to summer? I mean, is there no summer anymore? What is it, 2 weeks now?
California made it illegal.
They got too many breaks around here. I mean, you got summer break, winter break, spring break.
Right. All of them a week at a time. And
yeah. And
see, we used to have those 3 extra weeks in the we got spring break, winter break, and fall break. That's a week long. We get off, classified people get off on spring break, but we have to work through winter break and fall break. So what the school year used to be, you got out on Memorial Day and you went back the Friday before Labor Day, and that one day was only to get your books and get your schedules and go around and see where, getting your feet under you.
Right.
Nowadays, but you've got those 3 breaks built in, so we get out at Memorial Day like we always have, and then we're off. The kids are out of school June and July and start back August the 1st.
When I was going to school, we got spring break, and then we had the week between Christmas and New Year's, and that was it. You might get a day off every now and then throughout the year due to a holiday or something like that. And we got out in, I don't know, late May, and didn't go back till like the 15th of August. That was summer.
Yeah, it's still hot. Yeah, you're right, Ozzy. Those are called Slim Jims because the barrels were so long back in the day. Papa's place, school starts here Monday. Wow.
Yeah, we didn't get the fall break, the winter break, the solstice break, the this break, the that break, and all this other stuff. We got spring break, and we got the week between Christmas and New Year's. That was it.
Well, I am not complaining. I've had a good summer so far. Got a lot of stuff done. Been able to do a little bit of working on the Jeep, working on the house, a little bit of shooting, a little bit of reloading. So
awesome.
Cool. We got 2 or 3 weeks left, and I'm going to make the best of it.
What year's your Jeep?
One of them is a 94, and the other is a 2009.
Oh, okay.
And I might pick up another one. I'm trying not to, but I got a buddy has a 95 5-speed that I would really like to have. So we'll see.
Won't be long.
Does that still have the round headlights or the square headlights?
Well, the early 90s had the square headlights, and then I think 97 they went back to the round ones.
Yeah, they brought back the round ones. Yeah. Dang
So
it.
Vanessa Kitty, since a certain TV show came out, train station has a totally different meaning nowadays.
Oh yeah.
What is
Now,
that?
Dad, you've been awful quiet.
Come about Yellowstone.
Yeah.
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 Drop them off at the train station.
Yep. He needs to go to the train station.
Yeah.
I've only seen a couple of episodes of that because I don't have, what is it, Paramount or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Paramount Plus. There's
Yeah.
a lot of shows on Paramount, but it's $6 a month, and there's a lot.
You following Landman, Jamie?
Waiting for it to come
I
back
found
on.
myself watching Landman, and my granddaughter strolled into the room.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, if I don't want her to see it, then I shouldn't be watching it. And that was the last time I watched Landman.
Well, if you don't want her to see it, it means you need to watch it late.
That's the one with Billy Bob, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you, he plays one tough SOP.
Oh, he does. I've seen clips and stuff like that. I really want to see the show, but
Well,
I'm thinking about dropping Netflix for a couple of months and going to Paramount for a minute.
Well, he's too skinny to whoop anybody's butt. So,
But he can take a butt.
I don't
least in
watch
that
any
show.
modern stuff at all.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. I'm still a every day when I get home from work, I grab me a bottle of water, go sit in my recliner, and watch Gunsmoke until I finish that water, and then I go walk dogs.
If I want to watch a butt whooping on TV, I'll put on Lonesome Dove and watch Woodrow F. Call beat the crap out of that Union soldier when he's harassing Newt.
or how about the bartender
Where
pulls a Walker coat and shoots a daggum shot glass out of the air.
Now, if you care to take a look around, you'll see when they wanted to make us senators.
That's right.
I'm telling you, don't mess with me on Lonesome Dove trivia.
You want to watch a good butt whooping? Watch that Terminal List that Jack Carr did. It's on Amazon.
I heard about that butt whooping.
Whew. That's one of the most gruesome things I've seen.
Well, at the end, I'm not trying to mess anything up for anybody, but there's one scene in Landman where the cartel's trying to get, they're pretty much fed up with Billy Bob's company, and they got him with a bag on his head and done poured gas on him and done things with nails people shouldn't have. And he's just cussing them and saying, "Bring it." And I'm like, that man was born and bred in Texas and is tough as a daggum piece of rock. I mean, he's just tough. But he plays a good part. A little bit more nudity than Yellowstone, like Jamie said, and
Yellowstone was pretty reckless.
But it's written by the same guy.
yeah.
So if you like,
What hadn't he written?
you
He's
like-
got more TV shows than anything I've ever
Listen,
seen.
he's like a genius, workaholic, arrogant prima donna. You know,
Wow. Can you throw in another adjective?
I probably so when it comes to Taylor Sheridan.
rich.
Yeah.
He is the real deal. He went and bought that
one,
Texas
didn't
ranch too. I couldn't believe that. He bought that big old ranch in Texas.
What, 4 6s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we're getting close to the verse of the week. Mark, you want to throw in anything about the history of revolvers or their beginnings? Or we got up to the Colt Patterson 36, and we talked a little bit about the Walker 1846.
No, I don't think I'm gonna try to tread in there. Oh, that's a good one.
Chapter 1. That's your homework next week, boys. He's got his whole first chapter from Elmer is on the history of the six gun, of course, not revolvers per se, but it's a really good treatise on the history of the revolver.
Where is mine? I keep that right here somewhere.
Damn, Walter, I might need to order that book.
Man, if you ain't got that book, you need to order it. There's Hillbilly up.
Hey, Hillbilly.
I'm thinking Kentucky Rimfire is going to be on at 10, so we probably need to get on with the verse of the week tonight.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be the second commandment. Oh, I forgot to load up the verses, so y'all have to take my word for it tonight. I didn't have time to copy and paste the verses. Should I do that?
No, brother, you've had enough woes and
just tell us where we at.
Trials and tribulations.
Yes, it was a drama. It was a drama, Mark.
Yeah, it really has been.
But here we are.
Okay, we'll just read it.
Bring it, brother. That's what you did to the wedding. Worked great.
Exodus chapter 20, verses 4 through 6, the second commandment. Starting verse 4, New King James Version. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. So y'all got to picture this now. The Hebrews are at the foot of Mount Sinai. All the people of Israel heard these words and felt the presence of the Spirit of God. So Moses later in Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 12 reminds them of this moment when he says, and the Lord spoke to you out of the midst of the fire. You heard the sound of the words, but saw no form. You only heard a voice. Then later in John, Jesus says in John chapter 4, all the way into the New Testament, Jesus says, God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. My point there is God has no form for man to make an image of. God is spirit. Therefore, any attempt to create what God looks like is futile, ungodly, and hatefully disobedient to our holy God. John MacArthur says the mode or fashion of worship appropriate to only one God forbids any attempt to represent or caricature him by use of anything he has made. Total censure of artistic expression was not the issue. The absolute censor of idolatry and false worship was the issue. Violation would seriously affect succeeding generations because the Lord demanded full and exclusive devotion, i.e., he is a jealous God. The worship of man-made representations was nothing less than hatred of the true God. And about verses 5 and 6, he said there, to the third and fourth generation, thousands, Moses had made it clear that children were not punished for the sins of their parents, Deuteronomy 24:16,
Hmm.
and Ezekiel 18:19 through 32. But children would feel the impact of breaches of God's law by their parents' generation as a natural consequence of its disobedience, its hatred of God. Children reared in such an environment would imbibe and then practice similar idolatry, thus themselves expressing hateful disobedience. The difference in consequence serves as both a warning and a motivation. The effect of a disobedient generation was to plant wickedness so deeply that it took several generations to reverse. So, any attempt to replicate God is actually making God into our image, and that's what is forbidden. Then humans would worship the image instead of a holy God. Uh, David Guzik there says the second commandment prohibited not only idolatry regarding false gods, overlapping the first commandment, it also forbids the making it also forbids with making an image of any created thing that we might worship. It says there, you shall not bow down to them nor serve them. Some take this commandment to prohibit any kind of representation of God, such as a painting of Jesus or a picture of a dove to represent the Holy Spirit or any other representation. However, others emphasize that the prohibition is actually in the making of an image that would be or would likely be worshipped. Again,
False deity.
yeah. Uh, Paul reminds us of the danger and futility of trying to make God into our own image. Professing to be wise, they became fools and changed the glory of the incorruptible God into an image made like corruptible man and birds and four-footed animals and creeping things. That's Romans chapter 1, verses 22 and 23. God, it says, therefore, I am continuing with Guzik. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. God is jealous in the sense that he will not accept being merely added to the life. He insists on being supreme and does this out of love. So, yeah, he's jealous. He's got the right to be jealous. It's important that we not put anything before him in our lives.
One of our pastors, one time, he had a picture of John Wayne in his office. One day it was missing, and we asked him about it. He said, I got to thinking about it. To me, that's putting somebody like that up there is like putting up there toward God, So he took it down. Like, okay.
I can say that.
If one of the things I always thought about was how people will just the thought of, I want to paint something that represents God or represents Christ. Well, in reality, it's kind of like telling somebody, hey, this is who he is. And you're missing out on really having a relationship with him because you've limited him to that. Even the early church, the Hebrew children, when they would even write the name God, they wouldn't even put an O in. They would put a symbol because they said that they didn't have the right to, that it was too great for them to even write his name.
Yeah,
It's
and
disrespectful.
and
And
Old
you look at
manuscripts,
churches,
they'll just
every nation that puts a picture of what they think Jesus looks like on the wall looks like one of them.
yeah.
You know, I mean, if it's you say if they got you go into a church in Switzerland, he's blonde haired, blue eyed. Going to a church in Africa, he's black with shorter hair and a short beard. You go into the United States, you don't know what you're gonna get from one church to the next. It's really the height of it's hubris. I mean, we try to fit him into our imagination, and we miss out on the real scope of the fact that he's infinite. I don't know.
He's
That's my 2
spirit.
cents.
I want to encourage y'all. Chris Lang, our buddy out there.
Hey, Chris.
Chris is closing in on 1,000 subscribers. So if y'all not subscribe to him, I wish y'all would get on over there and do that. I think not hillbilly, but I saw a community post from Kentucky, Rimfire, about it, and I went over there and subbed to him this afternoon. Didn't realize I wasn't subscribed. He's got over 700 videos, y'all. So y'all get over there and subscribe to Chris Lang. And can somebody put a link in there for his channel?
I'm looking for it.
Where's Tread when you need him?
He's probably working tonight.
I had real good intentions of running down to the range today and doing his challenge with the SKS, and I just didn't get to. We had some thunderstorms roll in. My son was up at Hershey Park. I had to run and get him, but I might try to do it
Was
tomorrow.
that Chris that started that challenge?
Yeah. SKS 50 yards.
Yeah.
Yep. Printable target. I couldn't print the damn thing because the printer was out of ink. I actually drew one up, just used my compass and made one. And I'm hoping I can get there maybe tomorrow evening before we get on 10 o'clock with Hillbilly. But I got to be subscriber 955. So he's that close. He just needs a few more.
And there's your link.
Yep. Good deal.
All right, I'm in.
All right. Very cool.
He's a good fella. He puts out some great content, good stuff. He's out there in Texas, somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
So I'm gonna have to take that old SKS over there out of the bubble wrap and Cosmoline and try to get it to shoot.
That doesn't sound very good. Sounds close.
Bring it on over to the house, Jamie. We can clean them together. I got a few.
I suggest some brake cleaner. Does a great job.
I've got a sonic cleaner long enough to put the entire upper from a AR-15 in. So I think a lot of it I can do with that.
Well, yeah, but you're going to have to do a lot of disassembly.
You better fill that thing full of diesel fuel or kerosene.
Jamie knows what getting Cosmoline out's like.
Oh yeah,
It ain't no fun.
Just go ahead and let the tailgate down. You're in the right weather band. Just sit it out there and just let it bleed.
Kill your grass.
I might do that tomorrow. Lay it on the tailgate.
hot water and Dawn does pretty good too.
No, not when it's still freshly packed. I mean,
No. You got to get it warm and get it running.
If it's been used, I can see that. But if it's still encased and sealed and all that stuff, Dawn ain't touching it.
Yeah, stick it in the microwave for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, that'll work.
No,
You find me a
don't.
microwave big enough to put an SKS in, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's your microwave, though.
That's right. That's Back to the Future stuff.
You gotta get that,
When
You
this
gotta get
baby
that
hits 82 RPMs, you're going to see some serious. Oh, man.
Absolutely, Tim S. Ed's Red will cut that Cosmoline.
It will, but you're going to go through a lot of it.
I bet you I can do it with half a pint.
Well, if you recycle it,
When
which
you
there's nothing
really-
saying that you can't, because it'll still work again. But you're going to have to clean it in a plastic trough or something like that. Where you can pour it back
I'm
into
sorry. When you're putting more labor into your gun cleaner than what it costs, you're a cheap bastard.
Well, let me adjust my yarmulke.
Yeah, I'm sorry. A couple cans of brake cleaner, carburetor cleaner, and diesel
Yeah,
fuel.
but I don't like carb cleaner and stuff on my wood. It dries it out too much. Yeah, it'll get the cosmoline out, but
because everybody knows SKS wood is just beautiful.
I mean, Ed's Red, it'll get the cosmoline out, but it'll also, replenish the oils and stuff in the wood. So
Yeah, but if
that.
if it was Grandpa's 700, I'd understand. If it's SKS, who gives a crap? You know?
SKS wood ranks right up there with Mosin the Gont stocks, don't it?
Yeah.
I got a few of them too. We still got to shoot those, Jamie.
And the beauty factor.
Supposedly, a lot of those SKS stocks were catalpa wood, and you set them out in the sun, and that cosmoline just drips out of them.
Oh yeah,
you gotta get that brake cleaner. You gotta get something really solvent in that bolt, because if you don't get that thing cleaned out, that firing pin will freeze forward, and that thing will empty that 10-round clip in a heartbeat. I've had it happen.
Then you turn into a weed.
Yeah,
they're notorious for burping.
Yeah. You want to get that thing cleaned as good as clean. Make sure there's nothing left in there, because if it gets even a little bit cold, that bolt will freeze up and that firing pin will freeze forward, and man, you're going to have a runaway.
Yeah, mine was modified by what was said to be a Hong Kong gunsmith. They were shortened and they called them tanker models. I was like, wait a minute, the Viet Cong didn't have tanks, you know, and they charged like $25 extra, but it was a nice novelty, and it took AK mags. It didn't take the weirdo aftermarket mags. It took AK mags, and I had a runaway with not a full mag, but enough. And,
five round burst or some shit. Yeah.
Thank God, a little more than that. Thank God I was able to keep it from going skyward. And but I tore a dadgum can up. I mean, the 5-gallon can. That's what we were shooting at. I tore it up. Guy looked at me and said, "Do you mean to do that?" I said, "Yeah, sure."
Mm-hmm.
You see a button on here that says "Go." Yeah.
I meant to do every one of them. Mm-hmm. I aimed every one of them. It's like I've always said, when somebody hands you a gun that you've never shot before, that very first shot is going to be your most accurate shot ever, because you don't know what to expect. A buddy of mine gave me a 468 or something like that. He's like, "You sure you want to shoot it?" I'm like, "I ain't scared. I'm a fairly big boy." And I shot it, and he goes, "Right on, bullseye." He said, "You want to shoot it again?" Nope.
But why?
Okay, guys, we got to start going through the room. But first, guys, I beg your forgiveness. I've been it was hectic getting on here. So, but we've got Garage Guy 879. I don't think I've been able to say hey to him.
Got harm.
And Garage Guy 879 Harm just got on here. And of course, Chris Lang, we're trying to get him to a little bit closer to 1,000. I think we got him up to almost 970. Let's see.
967.
Yep. 967 subscribers. Ooh, we got a few. I should have done that earlier. Somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Good stuff. Good stuff.
I got a guy I want to promote, I guess, too. His channel's JG6 Guns. Yeah. He shoots cap and balls and stuff like that. He makes his own black powder. He does leather work, all kinds of stuff. He's a pretty nice young man. I put a link to his channel on there.
Good. I hit him. Yeah, I'm just quickly looking. He's got some good looking videos there.
Yeah.
Spent some time this weekend.
He's been watching me a lot, and I've been watching him a lot.
I didn't get to say hey to James Pugh neither. But yeah, go check out JG6 Guns. Who wants to go first? We're going to save Mark Thomas for last this week on the kind of.
I'll go. We'll get the ball rolling here.
Go for
so
it.
we got some videos coming up. I've got a few more of the Moldy Mondays to do. Those are all going up on Rumble. There's nothing Moldy Monday on YouTube anymore. I've gotten whacked enough for that. So next couple of weeks, I've got a couple more. We'll put one up there this week on Rumble for Moldy Monday. We got Wide Cutter Wednesday coming up, the second part of the one we did this last week. And what else is going on? That's probably going to be about it. I probably won't get to be here next Friday night. I got a previous engagement, no rings involved. But I'm going to be doing something else next Friday night, and I'm probably will get back out to the range with these black powder stuff again. It's got my attention, and as soon as I get comfortable enough, I'll start up and show you all the mistakes that I've already made. But it'll probably be next month before I start that series. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy to be here. It's always good, to get in here and do the verse of the week and have an opportunity to interact with the folks over there in the side chat. That's real important to me, as you guys know. It's like hooking up with all your buddies at the same place at the same time when everybody's here. Everybody knows your name.
It's therapeutic.
It is. So thanks for the invitation to participate. I'm happy to be here. Bama Dad, what you got happening, man?
Just working in the shop. I'm trying to get to some 223 this week. I'm probably going to need a Ellie Wilson gauge. So I've got one, but I don't have the one to check for the length. So
Bama Dad, look at the Sheridan gauges too. They're a little easier to use.
Talk to me about it in the after chat.
Just a cutaway. Trust me, dude, I ain't gonna be talking in the after chat. It's all I can do to keep from barking your head off by coughing.
You still not sick. You got to get well.
I know. But it's just a cutaway of a chamber, and you can see it. You can look at it, you can see it. You can see how far you bump the shoulder back, the whole 9 yards.
It doesn't take the place of a case comparator, but it'll get you in the right ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Edward Petty. All right, Chris, Kyle, what you got coming up?
Well, what I've got coming up tomorrow after I get off work is my sister's 50th birthday party. Kind of a big milestone in life. And wasn't going to go because I know I'm going to be tired. But we're going to saddle up and make the drive and go up there. Ain't that far, about 50 miles north. Hopefully there'll be some food left by the time we get there, because both me and my wife don't get off till about 2:30. So it's supposed to start at noon. There may be a muffin or something left by the time we get there, but I gotta make a show up for my sister. So
Couple of burnt weenies, man.
yeah, gonna do that, and I'll get to see my parents and that kind of stuff. We've been going through some rough spots in life, but we're getting through it. It'd be nice to see everybody. Go up there and have some fellowship, and good food, and then I don't even know what day it is anymore. I like I said earlier, I said the weekend. My weekend is Wednesday and Thursday. It was a rough weekend for me because my weekend's Wednesday and Thursday. You know, we lost all these people this week, and I just realized it's now y'all's weekend. Okay, well, maybe y'all can enjoy y'all's weekend. Maybe after work, get out on the boat and mess around on the lake, stuff like that. Just enjoy the summer, what's left of it, and maybe figure out how to post a YouTube video again. I don't know. They changed it so much. I don't know. Anyway, that's what I got.
Very cool. Very novel. What you got coming up, Rebel?
Well, when the feels like temperature's 107 outside, my boat stays under the tree in the backyard.
A good place.
Ain't no
Do a little
fishing.
lawn fishing.
Ain't no fishing. It's right mind gonna come to my fly. So, and that's all I do is fly fish. So, and I hate it because I was sick all through June, and that was really good fishing weather. It wasn't really all that hot. But I wasn't in any shape to be going out on a big lake, coughing and hacking and carrying on like that. But looking forward to getting out there. I miss going fishing. I like to say I love to fly fish. People say, why do you do that? I said, man, fish harder, not smarter. You know, I just love using a fly rod. So anyway, that's all I got. How about you, Tex?
Oh, I ain't got much coming up. I got to work tomorrow. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but it's rumbling out here, boys.
Mhm.
We got that depression coming in over here, dumping some rain on us. So I decided to work tomorrow instead of going shooting, since I had to. So doing that. Plan on trying to get my air compressor fixed for my guns. I hadn't had a chance to do that, so hopefully I can get that done so I can do some more air gun shooting. I did get to shoot one Sunday. I posted a video of it. I don't know if anybody watched it. The 10 yards 5-shot challenge. So it's just about seeing how small of a group you can put up. That's all it is.
I watched the shot shell videos,
Yeah, me too.
both of them. I saw the thumbnail. Anyway, what else you got coming up? That's all.
That's about it for me.
I got some stuff from. I think the company's name is Siley, Chinese peoples. Want me to do some reviews on some Mossberg shotgun stuff, and we might be working on that here in the next few weeks. I got some finished M39 Mosin Nagant test loads. I got to get to the range and shoot. How would y'all feel about seeing some 270 Winchester load development for hunting season?
Heck yeah.
Go for it.
Anyway,
Yeah, I might do some videos about that. We got some good test loads when I was up there at Rebel. We got 2 good loads that we can start with that.
Yeah, that one load was shooting tight.
Yeah, we have one group under an inch at 100 yards.
And Jamie, I got some bullets for you next time you swing by the house.
Cool. Okay, so with that, we'll leave you with what I hope becomes a tradition on this show. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. We love you and ain't nothing you can do about it.
Amen.
The Lord blesses you all real good. And if he's willing, we'll see you next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.